Hey guys, Mr. Wilhelm here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a triple beam balance to measure mass. Mass is the amount of matter in an object, the amount of stuff in an object. And we use this tool right here to measure it. Now, this is a triple beam balance. The reason we call it a triple beam balance is because it has 1, 2, 3 beams. So let's look at the parts of the triple beam balance. The first part is this right here, which is the pan, where you place whatever item you're trying to find the mass of. This is the pan. Down here at the bottom, we have the base. Over here to the right, we have the pointer, which is this little line right here. And then we have the zero, or the 0 point, which is on the other side. We have riders. These guys that move along the beams are called riders, and there are 3 of those. And they move freely across. When I'm trying to measure the mass of an object, I would take whatever it is that I'm trying to find the mass of. In this case, it is a beaker of water, and I place it on the pan. I'm always sure to make sure that all my riders are set at 0. Very important for your riders to be set at 0 to start this process. Also, what you need to know about the riders is that these back two, the middle and the back, have a pointer and triangle that points directly at a number, and also must set in a groove. If you get a rider halfway between 2 numbers and it's not in the groove, it's not in the little notch, then you'll get an inaccurate reading. So it's very important to make sure that that rider clicks down into the groove and is pointing directly at the number. Both the middle rider and the back rider must set in their assigned groove. The front rider is allowed to move freely, and you can just tap it along as needed, and there's no groove for it. So I start at 0. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move the largest of the 3 riders, which is the middle one, and I'm going to move it over 1 space until it gets into the next groove. And then I'm looking for some sort of movement, okay? Because I want the mass of the riders to balance with the mass of the water in the beaker. Right now, nothing's happened. So I'm going to move over this large rider again. Still, nothing happens. Then I'm going to move it over again. Still, nothing happens. So we keep going. Okay, there, that rider made the arm, made the beams fall. And now this mass is greater than this one. They're not balanced. There's more mass over here than there is over here. So we need to move this rider back 1 space. Essentially, it's too heavy. Then we're going to go to the back rider, and we're going to move it forward a space, and we're going to follow the same procedure. We're going to make sure that it's pointing directly at the number and sitting in the notch, and we're going to continue to move that over until something happens. Now, once again, our riders are there's too much mass over here. We're not balanced, okay? There's not a balance between the riders and the beaker with the water. We're trying to find that balance, thus the name, triple beam balance. And we're going to move this back 1. Now I'm going to adjust the front rider. And I'm going to just kind of tap it gradually. And I'm looking for this pointer to be lined up directly with the 0 point. Right now it's a little too much, so we're going to back up a little bit. And there we go. Now the mass of the riders is balanced with the mass of the beaker and the water. So all I have to do at this point is add up the numbers, add up the masses. This mass is pointing at, this rider is pointing at 300, this one is pointing at 30, and this one is halfway between 2 and 3, so that would be 2.5. So if I take 300 plus 30 plus 2.5, it gives me 332.5. So the mass of this beaker and water is 332.5 grams. We measure grams when we're measuring mass. We use the unit grams. And if I forget that, right here on the balance, at the end of each one of these beams, it has a G. A G stands for grams. G is for grams. So that simple process helps me to find the mass of any particular object that I might put on the pan of this triple beam balance.